This beautiful stitch pattern can be worked in the round or in rows depending on what type of project you're making. This particular pattern is done in the round to create this beautiful infinity loop scarf, and in this swatch I did it in rows, which means that you could do this for a scarf as well. Because I carried the yarn up the rows doing only 2 colors, you would want to do an edging on either side of these if you were going to make this a scarf. If you're going to do more than 2 colors, you probably want to cut the yarn in between rows, which means you'll have to weave in the ends and possibly do an edging on it, but it would still be really pretty. For today's demonstration, I'm going to use 3 colors of Be So Brave: Everglade, Shining Sea, and Plymouth Rock. And we're going to use 1 color for the in-between stripes. Let's see if I can show you on the sample. Like where the purple is here is going to be 1 color, and I'm going to use Plymouth Rock for that. And then I'm going to alternate the little rosettes in Everglade and Shining Sea. If you're doing this in rounds, it's a multiple of 5 stitches, and if you're doing it in rows, it's a multiple of 5 plus 1. If you want to do the scarf that's an infinity loop and in the round, please go to my website and download the free pattern, and you can follow along there. For today's demonstration, I'm going to show you how to do it in rows, which means we're going to be, if you were to continue on and make this longer, you would be making a scarf. If you made it wider and longer, you could also make a shawl, like a rectangular shawl, or even an afghan. I'm using a K hook, which is 10.5 or 6.5 millimeter, and you just want to tie your yarn onto your crochet hook, whichever way you prefer, and we're going to chain in a multiple of 5 plus 1. So we're going to chain 5 times, and you're going to do that as many times as you need for the width of your scarf or whatever project you're making. And then when you've done a multiple of 5 for the width that you want to add 1 more. Okay, so I've got 7 times 5 or 35 plus 1 more, and that's going to be the width of our swatch and or scarf. Okay, to start the first row, we're going to chain 1, single crochet in the second chain from our hook, chain 4, skip 4 stitches, and single crochet in the next. And you want to repeat that all the way across this row. Chain 4, skip 4, and single crochet in the next. Okay, we're going to fasten off and then start our color B. You know, you can choose which color goes first. Between the two, we've got Everglade and Shining Sea. I'm going to start with Shining Sea, just because. And you want to tie your yarn onto your crochet hook, and then slip stitch to join in the last stitch from the last row. So we'll slip stitch into that last single crochet, and then chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet. And in the next single crochet, we're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. A double crochet is yarn over your hook, insert your hook in the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook in the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We now have 2 double crochets on our hook, chain 1. We're going to work 2 more double crochets in that very same stitch. Like that. Okay, we're going to skip those chains, and in the next single crochet do the same thing. 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And you want to repeat that all the way across. We're going to work 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles in each single crochet across to the last one, and I'll show you what we do in the last one. Okay, you'll see we worked our shells all the way across, and in the last stitch we just worked 1 double crochet. Okay, now it's time to start the next row. We're going to chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet, turn our work, and now we're going to be working in those chain 1 spaces from the previous row. And we're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets in each chain 1 space across. So what that means is you're going to yarn over your hook, insert your hook in the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space. You're going to do it a second time, then a chain 1, and 2 more doubles in that same space. And it'll look like that. Okay, you want to do that across the entire row, working 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets in each chain 1 space across. Okay, we've worked our shells in the chain 1 spaces all the way across, and now you want to work a double crochet in the top of the chain 3 that counted as a double crochet at the end of the row, like that, so that we have a single double crochet in each row, whether it's a double crochet or a chain 3 counting, on each side of the row. And then we're going to fasten off because we're done with this particular stripe in Shining Sea. We're going to pick up where we left off now with Plymouth Rock, our original color. So you want to tie your yarn back onto the crochet hook and slip stitch to join in the top of that last double crochet worked in the last row, and we're going to chain 5, which counts as a double crochet, chain 2, and we're going to single crochet in the next chain 1 space like that. We're going to chain 2, and we're going to work a treble stitch in this hole 2 rows below so that we're cinching these two together. So we're going to yarn over twice, insert your hook under 2 rows below, right there, under both of the blue rows. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. See how we've cinched the blue so that it's kind of segmented in between the gray now, the Plymouth Rock? So we're going to chain 2, and we'll single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 2, and then work a double treble around the last 2 rows. Chain 2, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 2, treble around the last 2 rows, and repeat this across. Okay, then you repeat that all the way across the row, and when you come to the end of the row, you want to double crochet into the top of the chain 3 at the end of the row, like that. So the next row begins with a chain 1, turn your work, and single crochet in the first stitch. Then we're going to chain 5, skip the chain, the single, the chain, and we're going to single crochet in the top of the treble. Chain 5, skip everything until we get to the next treble, and single crochet in the next treble. And you want to repeat that all the way across. Remember how the last row started with a chain 5 that counted as a double crochet chain 2? What that means is the first 3 chains of that chain 5 counted as the double, and then the next 2 were the chain 2. So you want to make sure that when you do your last single crochet, it's in the third or it's in the center or third chain of that chain 5, so that counts as the top of a double crochet equivalent. We're done with this stripe, so we're going to fasten off our Plymouth Rock yarn, and we're now going to start with our third color, which is Everglades. And we're going to join our yarn in the same stitch as the last stitch worked in the last row. So you want to tie your yarn to your crochet hook however you prefer, slip knot, fancy knot, any kind of knot, plain knot, whatever works for you. And now we're going to be doing those shells but offset so that the pattern is offset like it is in the scarf. So we're going to start with a chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and work 2 more double crochets in that very same stitch. Like that. And then we're going to skip the chain 5, and now in the next single crochet we're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, the shells like we did in the previous color stripe of shells. 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. We're going to skip the chain 5 and work a shell in the next single crochet, which is 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. You want to repeat this all the way across. Remember, we're offsetting this time, which means we have a half shell at the beginning and end of the row. So in the last single crochet we're going to work 3 double crochets. Okay, so your row should look like this. And now we're going to start the next row with a chain 3, which counts as a double crochet. Turn our work and work 2 double crochets in that same first stitch. Okay, we're now going to be working in the chain 1 spaces all the way across, working shells in each of them. So it's 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets in each chain 1 space across. We're going to end the row with 3 double crochets in the last double crochet, but remember it's a chain 3 that counts as a double crochet, so you want to make sure you're working into the top or third chain of that chain 3 to have it in the right position. Okay, so we're done with this stripe now, and we can fasten off our yarn. And we're going to pick up where we left off with our original color, Plymouth Rock. Once you tie your yarn to your crochet hook, you want to slip stitch to the top of the first stitch to join, chain 1, and single crochet in the very same stitch. We're going to chain 2, and we're going to single crochet, sorry, I misspoke. We're going to work a double treble around the 2 rows that we worked in the previous color. So yarn over twice, insert your hook under both rows, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Chain 2, and we're going to single crochet in the next chain 1 space. Chain 2, and we're going to work a double treble around the last 2 rows worked in between the 2 shells. Chain 2, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 2, double treble in between the shells, 2 rows below under all of that third color, chain 2. You want to repeat this all the way across. Okay, and single crochet in top of the first stitch at the beginning of the row to join, and it was a chain 3 that counted as a double, so make sure you're single crocheting in the top chain of that chain 3. Next row begins with a chain 1, turn your work, single crochet in the same stitch. We're going to chain 5, skip the chain 2, the treble and the chain 2, single crochet in the next single crochet, and repeat that all the way across. Okay, and that is everything you'll need to know to repeat this with 3 colors. So now let's look at it side by side with the other row swatch. This one is done in 2 colors, so where we did Shining Sea and Everglades, we would have just done the 1 color of Lincoln Lime, and where we did Plymouth Rock for the chain rows and the double treble rows, we would have done in just Picket Fence. So you can see how it looks a little bit different with 2 colors to 3 colors, and then in this sample I'll show you again how it looks in 4 colors. We've got our 3 colors of stripes of the rosettes, American Beauty, Orangesicle, and Flamingo, and then we did all of the trebles and chains in Huckleberry Pie. If you would like to try this yarn, Be So Brave, which is 100% US made merino wool, worsted weight, please use coupon code YouTube20 to get 20% off in my shop at KristinOmdahl.com. And while you're there, make sure to download the free pattern for making the infinity loop scarf.